6 inches. Remember, you can hear the tropical summary at the top and bottom of every hour when there is activity occurring in the Atlantic Basin. Now let's check on your local forecast for the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Rest of this afternoon. Less than 20% chance of showers. Highs in the upper 70s. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy. A 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. Lows in the upper 60s. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Friday, showers likely with a chance of thunderstorms in the morning. And showers with thunderstorms likely in the afternoon. Locally heavy rainfall possible in the afternoon. Highs in the upper 70s. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour, increasing to 15 to 20 miles an hour in the afternoon. Gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Chance of rain near 100%. Friday night, partly cloudy with a 20% chance.
Alrighty, my friends, what is going on, everybody? And welcome back to another live stream here for today. We got ourselves some pre-event coverage we're going to be giving you guys here for today. We're going to be going over the models. We're going to be going over all things that you guys need to know in regarding to this upcoming severe weather. So without further ado, my friends, let's go ahead and jump right on into it. Hope you guys are having an amazing day so far. We're probably going to be live here for probably about 30 minutes to an hour and stuff like that. So we're going to be giving you guys all the information that you need to know in regarding to this event here. Let's go ahead and see who is here off the bat. First of all, I want to go ahead and give a big thanks to Wisetree for donating before the live stream started. Thank you so much there, Wisetree. If you're still here, big thumbs up goes to you. Thank you so much for your kind support. Definitely really greatly appreciated. Let's see. So Daniel's here, or at least earlier. Devin's here. Wisetree, once again, thank you. Let's see. Rain's here. We also have Starmind. Hype Beast is here. Julie. Let's see who else we have. We have Devin. Megan's here. Liam's here. Z1 Storm Tracking's here. Fork's here. Crazy Girl's here. James is here. What's up, you guys? Hope you're doing all right. Glad to have you here. Let's see, the camera is back. It sure indeed is. Yeah, I just needed to unplug it and actually plug it back in. That's what fixed it, which was kind of a little bit interesting. It might have just been like a loose wire or something. But anyways, regardless, we're back. Hopefully it stays that way, but I hope you guys are doing all right. Glad to have you here. Let's go see Alex and Ben's here as well. Faith is here. Let's see, Joseph's here. What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing great. Glad to have you guys here for today. So, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. And regarding to this upcoming event, like I said, there is a big event that's getting ready to play out here across portions of the South. I mean, we're talking Texas, Oklahoma, portions of Kansas, and even Nebraska included with this severe weather threat here. So, we're definitely going to watch out for this here very closely. So, throughout the video, guys, or throughout the live stream, I should say, we are going to be taking a few of you guys, like I said, if you have any areas in Texas, make sure you're in Texas, and we'll be talking about your specific area. Let's see, Proxy with a donation of $45. Wow, Proxy, thank you so much for that. And as you can see, and now another informative stream with Andrew and the awesome mods, or sorry, and the awesome NW106 mods and family. Let's do it. Well, Proxy, thank you so much. You as well. Big shout out goes to you, Proxy. Also, a big shout out does go to Wisetree as well. You guys are both the donators for today. Thank you all so much. You guys are greatly appreciated. So, first things first, my friends, what we're going to look at really quickly is the Storm Prediction Center. So, first of all, we're going to need to understand which areas are actually at risk for severe storms here. So, we're actually going to go ahead and add the layer here of the of tomorrow's severe weather threat here. So, let's go ahead and add tomorrow's Day 2 convective outlook. So here we go. So we're going to go ahead and actually pause the latest frame here. So here we go. This is the risk here for tomorrow. We have a lot of risk areas here for tomorrow. We're actually going to go ahead and pause this as well. You know, it'd probably be easier if I just switched on over here to the Storm Prediction Center itself. Yeah, I think that's a lot easier here. Anyways, a lot of people are at risk tomorrow for severe storms. If you guys are across the dark green, the yellow, and especially the orange, you got yourself a threat for severe storms. The light green basically saying a few thunderstorms are possible, but not expected to be severe. So once again, we start with our severe weather threat. There is a level. Like I said, the way this works, there is 5 levels. The higher the level, the more severe and the more nasty things could get. Now, here's kind of what we're talking about. We're going to go ahead and bring up my pen here. That way I can actually draw on the screen and show you guys what kind of fanciness is going on here. Anyway, so here we go. So we have our level 1 out of 5. This is our first level of severity. This thing still can produce some life-threatening thunderstorms. Just keep that in mind. Across portions here of the green shaded colors. States included Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, portions of Missouri, Arkansas, western Mississippi, and Louisiana is inside of the level 1 out of 5. Now we move into the yellow. This is what we call the slight risk, the level 2 out of 5. This is a bigger deal, covering more area of severe storms, more likelihood of seeing severe storms, as well as potentially bigger conditions. Potentially more stronger storms as possible too. This includes Arkansas, portions of southern Missouri, portions of Oklahoma, Texas, and Louisiana. Definitely got to watch out for that, my friends. And, of course, we have the bullseye here for tomorrow. If you guys are across eastern Texas, portions of southeastern Oklahoma, portions of southwestern Arkansas, you got yourself a pretty nasty risk here for tomorrow. This is severe threat level 3 out of 5. Still not the highest threat that's possible, but I tell you what I've seen on the models, what we're going to be looking at in the models and stuff like that, things could get pretty interesting. They could get pretty nasty, so we're going to really have to watch out for tomorrow. We're going to be live tomorrow to cover the entire event here. We got you guys covered with that. That way if there's any tornadoes or anything like that, which tornadoes unfortunately will be a big concern for tomorrow, we will be here to cover it for you guys. Every concern is on the table here in regarding to hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. So here we go. So tornado risk here, what are we talking about? So anywhere inside of these shaded colors, either it being the green, the brown, or the yellow, you got yourself a tornado probability here. So basically the 2% risk here is every 25 miles. So think of a big radius, 25 miles around you. There's a 2% chance a tornado could drop inside of that 25-mile radius of you. So that's what we're looking at. 5% risk here, same probability, or actually higher probability, but the same thing basically. 25 miles, 5% chance of that happening. Now here's where things start to get pretty interesting. 10% area. Obviously, 10% chance of having a tornado in a 25-mile box, but you might notice there's kind of a netting. There's kind of a big old net that's happening right here in southeastern Oklahoma and right into portions here towards eastern and northeastern Texas. Now, this is what we call the hatched risk. This is what we call the significant risk. This is telling us we still have a 10% chance of having a tornado drop within 25 miles of a given point. For example, let's go ahead and pull an area just east of Dallas, just a single area. Say we're going to look right here for some reason. Say if you're right there, basically 25 miles around you has a 10% chance of seeing a tornado fall inside of those territories. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, the hatch risk, that netting means that tornadoes could be quite large. Potentially EF2 to EF5. Now, like I said, I want to go ahead and say this. We haven't had an EF5 in years. It's been almost over a decade. I think it's already been near a decade. I think 2023 will make it a decade. So it's been about 9 years since we've had an EF5 tornado. Some might debate that. Some might say that we've had one since then. But actually, according to the National Weather Service, we have not had one since 2013. Which it's been a long time. But here's the thing. Like I said, the probability of an EF5 happening is still pretty low. It's still pretty low here, but I tell you what, there is going to be the possibility, especially once you get across northeastern Texas and southeastern Oklahoma, there's a pretty decent chance we could see some pretty large tornadoes here for tomorrow. We definitely got to watch out very closely for tornadoes. I'm being serious. This is not a friendly event here. This is potentially going to be pretty nasty, and we're just going to have to walk through this one together. This is definitely one we need to be live for. But that's what we're looking at, my friends, so we definitely got to keep an eye on it. Let's go and see here. Morna says, good day, Andrew. Enjoying watching your crazy weather. Very interesting. Stay safe, everyone. Well, what's up, Morna? Hope you're doing all right. Let's see here. Thank you for the info, says Julie. You're very, very welcome. Let's go and see here. Is there a possibility the risk could move more north? So, we're going to look at that here in the models here in 1 second. So, once again, pretty big tornado threat tomorrow. Damaging winds will be possible as well. 30% risk here in a 25-mile box of seeing damaging winds, potentially up to 70, maybe even near 80 miles an hour with some of these. Definitely, I'm expecting some pretty nasty damaging wind gusts with these. Something we got to watch out here for. Also, hail. Hail's kind of the last concern, but it is still a possible threat here for tomorrow. We are going to see the possibility of some hail, so we got to watch out for that as well. So there's all things on the table. Tornadoes, potentially large tornadoes, damaging winds, as well as hail is going to be a possible concern here for tomorrow. Or I'd say more of a likely concern for tomorrow. Just considering how large the overall area is. Like I said, if you're in the dark green, the yellow, and the orange, you're at risk for severe storms. And like I said, something we really have got to watch closely. Now, like I said, this does not mean that we got to panic. Like I said, obviously, I get it. It can be a little nerve-wracking. But just know, we're going to be here to cover this tomorrow. And if there's anything that happens, say if there's a tornado warning for your area, we'll get you covered. We'll get you on your way and tell you what you need to do in order to be prepared. Now, for today, what I want you guys to do, if you are at risk, if you're in the green, the yellow, or the red, the green, the yellow, or the orange, the green, the yellow, or the orange, excluding the light green, mostly the dark green here, I'm going to tell you this. You're going to want to be prepared for tomorrow. If it was me, I would have a first aid kit ready. Worst case scenario. Say if something did happen. Worst case scenario. It's better to be prepared than underprepared, okay? So have your stuff together. Have your shoes, have everything you got, put it all in one little area, and know where you're going to go in case of, say, worst case scenario happens and a tornado warning is issued for you. What you're going to do, at worst case scenario, if you do not have a basement or a storm cellar, that's where you want to go first, obviously. But if you don't have any of those, central interior room of your home. That's where you want to put all of your equipment, okay? That's the best place you want to be. Now, say if you're in a scenario where you do not live in a house and you live in a trailer. The next best thing, what you got to do is actually go leave your trailer. That's the worst thing you can do is stay inside that trailer. So what you want to do if you're under a tornado warning, you're going to want to leave your trailer and you're going to want to go find somewhere sturdy. And if there's no buildings nearby, absolutely nothing nearby, and you're just in your trailer, you're going to still want to leave that trailer, and you're going to want to go towards a ditch. You're going to want to, last case scenario, you're going to want to go find a ditch and cover your head. That is going to provide you much more better protection than actually a trailer would. Because, like I said, what's going to happen is if a tornado hits a trailer, it's basically going to be mangling everything inside of it. You do not want to be in a trailer during an event like this. Just giving you guys heads up now, okay? Just keeping you guys informed. Like I said, I'm not trying to scare you guys. I'm not trying to keep you guys, I'm not trying to make you guys freak out. I'm just wanting to inform you of what the possibilities are for tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, like I said, is going to be a pretty interesting day, depending on what happens here. It's definitely looking like we are going to have some possible bad, like I said, tornadoes could be possible, large hail, and damaging winds. So we definitely got to watch out for this. Let's see here. Sewing says, get tornado backpacks with all insurance, birth certificates, etc. It would be good to get your paperwork together, too. Just at worst case scenario. Like I said, just at worst case scenario. And like I said, we have a pretty big risk tomorrow, which, like I said, it's an enhanced risk. That's a pretty big risk. And the fact that it covers such a large distance is quite interesting. So, anyways, my friends, we're going to go ahead and switch on over here. Like I said, we were just looking here at the NAM. Oh, wrong one there. We were just looking here at the NAM 3-kilometer model. We're going to go ahead and bracket this up. Like, once again, you can see the overlaid risk here. So now we're going to talk about timing. What time are these storms going to be happening? So you guys might be wondering, well, so storms are happening tomorrow, but what time are they going to occur? So here we go. Here's what we're talking about. This is according to the NAM 3-kilometer model. Note that all models are not perfect. No model is perfect. So it's really showing those storms really kind of start to fire off around the, kind of just west of Dallas, maybe around 4 o'clock p.m., kind of showing around the afternoon hours. Some thunderstorms starting to really fire off across the way, if not a little bit earlier. We're definitely going to watch out for this here. Now, areas as of now projected by the NAM 3-kilometer model, if you're near Fort Worth or Dallas, it's kind of looking maybe around 5, 6 o'clock, kind of where you are going to be seeing the storm system move through. Definitely is something we got to watch out for. Areas of Austin, kind of around the same time. Waco, kind of around 6, 7 o'clock. We're definitely going to watch out for this closely. San Antonio, you're probably going to be getting this cold front maybe around 5, 6 o'clock as well. So San Antonio, Austin, places of Dallas and Fort Worth area, Waco, and surrounding areas in a long linear pattern surrounding those areas. That is whenever the storms are going to be expected, anywhere from around 4 to 6, maybe potentially 7 or 8. So we'll see how that goes. That's according to one specific model. Tracking our way down here further in time, you can see the storms are going to be pretty interesting. Big linear event, big long line of storms, what we call a squall line, is going to be forming, which might have some embedded tornadoes. And this is kind of around the evening hours. We're kind of clocking in here. You can see the top right here. That's where the time is located. You can see where my cursor's at. Showing 8 o'clock p.m. This is in Eastern time, by the way. So at this time, the sun's going to be going down, which that brings a concern for possible nighttime tornadoes. This is what we call nocturnal tornadoes. Will be a possibility tomorrow night. So, regardless, definitely things are going to be playing out here. Once again, that's the timing according to the NAM 3-kilometer model. Now, with this in particular model, it shows the possibility of a few storms firing ahead of the cold front. The cold front's right here. You can see a few little isolated storms firing potentially ahead of it. And obviously, once we start to progress further into this event, right around sunset, this is mostly going to be a long line of storms. Mostly what we call a squall line, or a QLCS, quasi-linear convective system. A big old line of storms covering hundreds of miles. And like I said, it's going to be possible we could have a few other severe storms, potentially even higher than Texas. A few of these little guys could go severe. definitely is possible as we are in that risk area. So we're definitely going to need to watch this very, very closely. So that is indeed what we are watching. Now we're going to switch on over here to the next model. This is the HRRR, standing for the High Resolution Rapid Refresh. This one refreshes every single hour. So this is the freshest, the most latest information we got going through here. The latest model is actually still running, so we'll go ahead and go to the model from an hour ago, and we'll take a look and see what is happening according to this. So anyways, tracking our way down in time. We're going to take our way down here in time. Actually, this model I don't think reaches all the way to there. No big problem. We're going to actually switch on over here to the 18Z run. This one will obviously, this one will give us a lot more data coming through here. So here we go. So we track our way down in time. Now, according to the HRRR, there's a little bit of differences compared to what the NAM 3-kilometer model was saying. It kind of shows it breaking up more into individual, potentially isolated supercells, potentially towards the Fort Worth area. And then as we track our way down here into the evening hours, obviously turning more into that line, as you can actually see here. It actually kind of shows this happening in 2 waves, which is really interesting. And like I said, we've actually seen, what the NAM model was showing, how it just started out with a few little cells ahead of the cold front, but the cold front mostly being that long line of storms. But this model is entirely different, honestly completely opposite compared to what the other model was saying. Starting off as a bunch of kind of multicellular, a few clustered thunderstorms happening. Time, as you might notice, is around 11 o'clock, or sorry, 4 o'clock there. I don't know why I said 11. I guess I was looking at that 11 right there. Anyways, regardless, 4 o'clock according to the HRRR model, kind of around maybe a little bit earlier. I'd say 2 and 4, between 2 and 4, initiation will begin. Firing off a few supercells, potentially. Then that line forming here towards the way. Now, around 8 o'clock, right around sunset, according to the HRRR, another line will develop right here across the back end portion. So there is still a lot of disagreement between what these models have to say. Like I said, here's the HRRR. We're going to go ahead and play this in motion for you. That way you can look at it total, kind of see what's happening here. So what's kind of interesting is that, like I said, a few storms fire off in the warm sector, and then it converts to a QLCS with 2 different waves happening, which is definitely going to be interesting if that does actually play out the way it does. And if that's the case, it's going to be something we really got to be paying attention to. So anyways, moving on over here to the NAM 3-kilometer model. Again, taking a look here back at this just to compare the two once again. Here is the NAM 3-kilometer model in the play out. You can see how obviously a few little storms start to kind of fire off here. You can see that main line sweeps through, but only just in 1 wave compared to what the HRRR had to say. So there's obviously a lot of disagreement. There is obviously a bit of disagreement between these 2 in particular models, in which, yeah, it's going to be something we do need to watch out for. We're going to have a lot more information today of. So tomorrow, we're going to have a lot more information for you as the event is happening. Like I said, we're probably going to be going live somewhere around 3 or 4. That's what I'm planning on going live tomorrow. So we're definitely going to keep an eye out for it. So we'll definitely keep you guys informed. We'll definitely keep you guys up to date and everything like that. Now, here's the crazy part. We're going to go ahead and switch on over here, guys, to my other screen here. This is actually the current temperatures across portions of the entirety of the country. And you can see that here's what's happening. The cold front is already starting to blast its way across the region. You can actually see right in here how sharp that gradiated cold front is. You can see basically in the latest scans here, the time is up there in Zulu, but you can see that cold air that's starting to blast its way down and obviously interacting with that warm air that is positioned across portions here of the country. So we have a lot of warm air that's going to start bringing its way up here into the country. The cold air is going to back down from the north, and they're going to meet. And with that happening, there's going to be a collision of air masses, warm and moisture-filled air mass, and a cooler and dry air mass, complete polar opposites. And that's kind of what we are indeed seeing here. So really is something we do need to watch out here for very, very closely. So once again, you can actually see that cold front really starting to blast through. We're going to go ahead and pause this here in the latest scan. We're actually going to zoom in here across portions of the central U.S. too. I mean, look at that. Look how in the latest scan, this is as of the last hour basically, you can see how we go from basically central Kansas. We're talking 70, lower 70s, which is pretty daggone nice. And to the northwestern state, we're talking upper 40s. Really shows that big old gradient there. You can see right there where the cold front is. Now, according to the models, this thing, like I said, is expected to move its way towards the region of Dallas. It was kind of looking kind of iffy between the two models. I'd say between 4 and 8. I know it's a big margin, but you know what? There is a little bit of uncertainty in timing as well as how this event could play out here. So we're definitely still going to watch out for it. Anyways, but that's what I wanted to go ahead and show you guys. Here is the actual satellite view. We actually already starting to see. I'll go ahead and switch on out here. You can see that big old troughing motion, really now starting to dive its way down. Basically a lot of a big old trough really starting to move its way into the region. This is the main engine. This is the main system that's going to be firing off this severe weather here for tomorrow. It's already starting to happen. We've been watching this on the models for the last few days, and it's actually really interesting to see this thing actually come into life now. And so what's going to happen here is that once this event pulls closer, once this trough gets closer towards the central U.S., what's going to happen is we're going to have a lot of this warm air starting to draw its way up here from the Gulf of Mexico, fueling it with a lot of moisture and stuff like that. And obviously, we're going to have the opposite effect. We're going to have the cooler air come down from the north. So obviously, the higher you go up, the more colder it gets. The further you go down, typically the more warmer it is because you're closer to the direct sunlight, you're closer to the equator, which is obviously a lot more warmer. So that's kind of something we do need to pay attention to. So anyways, regardless, like I said, we're going to have warm air come up here. We're going to have the collision of air masses happening right here across the southern and central plains. Like I said, once again, Texas, Oklahoma, portions here of Kansas. You guys got to be really watching for this event here for tomorrow. So we got to definitely keep our eyes out here for it. Now here we go. So now we're going to dive into more of the complexity of this system here. If you guys want to understand what's happening here, like I said, you guys are going to want to listen up for this here because this is basically diving into the system more than we just have. So we're taking a look at the ingredients, which is needed for storms to fire off here. We have wind shear, which is basically just winds at certain elevations of the atmosphere. We have instability, which is basically the fuel that's in your gas tank. I like to compare this to a car. If you have fuel in your gas tank, obviously that is going to allow you to go places. If you don't have any fuel, then you're not going to go anywhere. Okay? Think of this as kind of similar for the storms. If you have fuel, that's going to allow you to get somewhere. Okay, so we have fuel, we have our wind shear, which is basically the engine, I should say, of this system, and we have our moisture, which is our dew points here at the surface. Obviously, that surface moisture can develop tornadoes if it's high enough, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and dive on into this, my friends. We're going to take a look and see what we're talking about here conditionally. So first up, we're taking a look here at the RAP model. This stands for Rapid Refresh. This updates every 3 hours. So we're going to let you guys know in regard to what is going to happen here. So we track our way down here in time. Obviously, storms do begin to fire off here. I tell you what, we're going to actually go ahead and grab, that one goes out to 21. We're going to go ahead and grab this latest one here. So you can see that cold front really starting to sweep by here, kind of for the afternoon, evening hours here for tomorrow. So that's something we're going to definitely watch out for. But here we go. So now we're going to look at the conditions that's in the atmosphere. So first up, we're going to take a look at that fuel. We're going to see if we have enough fuel in our gas tank to allow for the storms to fire. Now, typically, we're looking for values of 1,000 and higher. That's typically good for severe storms to happen. So right now, you can see that there is a bit of purple. You can see those values at the top where it says CAPE as around 500, which that could fire off storms. But here's the thing. You can see that thing under it saying CIN. That stands for convective inhibition. That's basically a big old blanket that's preventing storms from firing. So we have enough energy to allow for storms to fire, but the blanket's going to hold storms back as of right now. So we track our way down in time. Here's what's going to happen, you guys. This is what's going to kick off for today. So here for tonight, for early tomorrow morning, we're going to actually have possibly a round of severe storms happening early across portions here of basically the southern panhandle, across portions here of Oklahoma, into portions of Kansas. We're going to have to watch out for this here. But for the main event, here we go. A lot of this instability you can see just off the coast here of Texas, really driving its way up across portions here of the entirety of eastern Texas. Now, like I said, values typically need to be 1,000 or higher for some good, well-developed severe storms. And look at this. Values are talking, according to the RAP model, over 2,000, which that is going to be plenty enough gas in our tank to allow for storms to fire off, according to that alone. So, now there, like I said, I just seen someone in the comments actually just say, is there going to be a cap? I briefly looked over there. So here's the thing. So in regarding to that, for the main event, there's not going to be a cap. You can see how the cap breaks. We're taking a look here right on the cold front. Convective inhibition is around at -5, which that can easily break right through. So that's not going to be a problem for the main event tomorrow. It does not appear to be capped out, which that could be potentially concerning. So, like I said, instability values here across the entirety of the atmosphere, what we call the mixed layer instability. Basically, like I said, just in simple terms, it's your fuel in your gas tank to get your storms to go. And like I said, with that being said, we have plenty enough gas in our tank to allow for storms to happen. So check off that. There's really 4 things we need to look at here. Check off one of them because we have it. All right, next thing we're going to look at is the moisture at the surface. typically, we're looking at dew points. You want to see your dew points in 60 degrees or 70. 60 to 70 is perfect. The Goldilocks zone for severe storms and potentially tornadoes. I'm not going to explain more into this because I'm sure you guys don't want to hear a whole entire lecture on what all this means. If you do, I might make a video eventually about this. But anyways, regardless, you want your values around 60 or 70. And if we take a look here at the dew point temperatures, we just have that. Those dew points are screaming. They are really, really, really high across portions of eastern Texas. We have plenty of instability, as we determined, and we have plenty of moisture at the lower levels of the atmosphere. So check number 2 off, because we have both of those required ingredients. So now we just need to look at the overall shear, basically the winds at certain levels of the atmosphere. There's 2 portions of the atmosphere we're going to look at. We're going to look towards the ground, and we're going to look towards the mid portions of the atmosphere. Okay, so we're going to start off with the mid levels of the atmosphere here. So typically, you want those winds to be moving at around 50 knots, or pretty much 50 knots or higher. And if we line up here where all the instability is at, we line up all that energy that we have here to the winds at across the mid levels. This is basically about 18,000 feet up in the air, just if you guys want to know how high we're talking here. So we're actually seeing, literally, those winds here kind of around 60 to 70 knots. That is plenty enough winds to allow for these storms to be moving pretty quickly, actually. These storms might be moving pretty quick with this forward motion here. So we have enough winds to basically allow for the storms to thrive for long distances. Let's go and see here. Wise Tree with another donation. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Will Fisher's Indy get hit on Saturday? So Wise Tree, give me 1 second. Let me finish this up real quick, and then we'll get to you. But once again, like I said, we have plenty enough winds at the mid-levels of the atmosphere. Now we're going to bring this towards the surface. We're going to take a look here at the lower levels. This is probably about 5,000 feet in the air or so, so a lot lower to the ground. Now, what we're looking for is these winds to be moving to the north. These winds that across the mid-levels, as I was talking about, are moving northeast. This is northeasterlies moving up here to the northeast at pretty fast speeds, which is definitely good enough for storms to fire off here. Now, here we go. This is at the lower portions of the atmosphere, probably about 5,000 feet or so. And you can actually see here how we're seeing tons of energy, or tons of winds. This is what we call our northerlies. This is what's bringing in a lot of moisture here from the Gulf of Mexico, for one, and this is also going to be a key component for tornadoes tomorrow. And since we're seeing these values here over about 40 knots, near 40 knots or so, that is going to be strong enough to allow potentially some nasty tornadoes to happen. So we're definitely going to watch out for this closely. As we track our way more into the evening hours, that lower level jet is actually forecasted to strengthen according to the RAP model, which definitely is going to be really, really interesting. So we're going to keep on watching it. So we have our wind energy. We have we have some pretty nasty northerlies here at the surface. Towards the ground, like I said, the winds are screaming to the north. That is going to allow for some storms to potentially produce some nasty tornadoes. So we got to watch out for that. So across the lower levels and across the mid levels, we have a directional wind change. You can notice how the winds across the mid portions of the atmosphere are moving northeast, and how the winds, as we saw there towards the surface or towards the ground, are moving more to the north, as you can actually see here. So that is going to allow for potential tornadic activity, and that's why tomorrow's risk for tornadoes is pretty daggone high. So that's what we're looking at. That's the overall breakdown. So we have our wind shear, what we call it, basically winds at certain levels. That's going to allow for storms to really organize themselves and potentially be long-lived. So we have that in place. We have the wind shear. We have the moisture in those dew points, 60, 70 degrees, which is Goldilocks zone, as I was saying here. And we also do have, like I said, we also do actually have basically what I was talking about, the instability. Basically your gas in your gas tank. We have plenty enough fuel for storms to fire off. So we have 3 out of 4 things in place. Now you might be wondering, well, what's the last thing? That is what we call lift. And our source of lift will be this very strong cold front. As you can actually see here, if we take a look at the temperature differential, you can see just how sharp of a gradient this cold front is going to be, knocking the temperatures from the 70s into the 50s. And since there's not a cap in place, and since there's a pretty daggone strong cold front moving through, that's going to provide plenty enough lift to allow for that warm air at the surface to reach its way up in the cooler environment above. That's basically how thunderstorms fire off, is the warm air at the ground gets up in the atmosphere and fires up higher. Let's see, Broadway with a super chat as well. Thank you so much, Broadway. But yeah, big shout out goes to you as well. Wise Tree, I'll get to you in a second. Like I said, I did not forget about you. Once again, thank you so much for your kind support in the beginning of the stream as well as just now. Greatly appreciated. But like I said, that's kind of what we're talking about, my friends. So everything is in line. Now, like I said, we really can't look at one model specifically, so I'm going to briefly talk about the other ones. So as we looked on our previous model, this one was actually showing our energy kind of clocking in here maybe around 2,000, kind of around 1,500 to around 2,000 energy, mixed layer K, basically. It's basically our fuel in our gas tank. So values here are basically about 1,500 to 2,000. Now, according to NAM, this is another model. This one's actually a little bit more aggressive, showing near 2,500. So obviously this model does have ourselves a little bit more energy in the atmosphere, which could be more explosive for thunderstorms. So that's something we got to take in consideration, is that not all models are perfect. NAM model, once again, kind of showing anywhere from around 2,000 to 2,500. So between the models, I mean, if we're being honest though, if we're being quite frank with you guys, there is a lot of agreement here between the instability. So we're kind of expecting anywhere from 1,500 to 2,500 mixed layer cape, which, like I said, to produce any severe storms, it needs to be really over 1,000, and we're seeing well over 1,000 regardless between what model you look at. So thunderstorms are going to have enough fuel in their gas tank to fire off here for tomorrow. So that's something that's kind of concerning here. Taking a look here back at the NAM model. Taking a look back at those lower level jet, like I said, the lower levels there, you can see how the winds are still pretty much cranking to the north here at around 40, near 50 knots, if not a little bit stronger right where the cold front's at. So that could honestly, once again, still allow for that rotation to happen, especially if you compare it to the mid-levels of the atmosphere here. Starting off with northeasterlies across the mid-levels of the atmosphere, pretty daggone strong. And then comparing towards the surface here of those winds, definitely pretty strong to the north. So, yep, there is some spin in the atmosphere. There is going to be some possibility for tornadoes happening. So basically, the wind directional change as you go up in the atmosphere and the speed that increases creates basically vortexes, creates vortices inside of a thunderstorm that tries to develop, which, with that being said, that could lead to tornadoes. So that's why tomorrow has a big old tornado event tomorrow. Anyways, but that's basically what's happening there. So we looked there, the GFS model, kind of a lower resolution there. But once again, shows a pretty nasty lower level jet there, around 50 plus knots, 40 to 50 knots of lower level wind shear here towards kind of around the 5,000 foot range, which that is pretty daggone, that's pretty daggone crazy. I'd say this is near 5 to 10,000 feet, actually. So that's what we're looking at. So everything is in place here. You might be wondering, what about those dew points there? Once again, GFS showing the 70s, NAMNEST showing the 70s, NAM showing the 70s, RAP showing the 70s, HRRR showing the 70s. Do y'all see a trend here? So you see what I'm saying? So the moisture at the surface is going to be there 100% according to all these models we looked at. There's tons of agreement in that sense. There's going to be plenty of instability, as we've seen, anywhere from 1,500 to 2,500 mixed layer cape, which that is going to provide plenty enough fuel for these storms to fire off. Moisture, fuel is down. Wind field, like I said, strong winds across the mid and lower levels of the atmosphere is going to provide rapid organization of these storms, going to provide rapid intensification, as well as potentially even some tornadic storms. All of the models do suggest that as well. So, and we have our source of lift, very, very strong cold front with no cap. That is going to allow storms to freely rise upon what they will do. So, anyways, so that's something we got to watch out for, my friends. Everything is in place for quite the event tomorrow, and we definitely got to keep an eye on it. So that's the models, my friend. Just want to talk about that here for a few minutes with you. And Jordan, just to kind of give you more an in-depth view of what the potential is here for tomorrow. So let's go ahead and switch on back here. So I have to get to Wise Trees here. So you want to take a look here at Fisher's ND. Let's go and double check here just because you supported us. Thank you so much for that. Greatly appreciated. We'll get to some of your guys' other ones here in a minute as well. So this, my friend, if this is right here towards Indianapolis. Is that correct? Now, here's the thing. According to the NAM 3-kilometer model, I mean, we are possibly going to get some storms to drive through the Indiana region. Now, perhaps, like I said, honestly, really not going to be enough energy in the atmosphere to produce anything quite severe. So, honestly, if you're going to get anything, it's just going to probably be, kind of just some average thunderstorms, really more than anything. So, you should be relatively fine here for the most part. So, like I said, I'm not really too much worried about that here. So you should be relatively fine if that's exactly where you're at there, Wise Tree. But that is what we're looking at. So you're saying here for Saturday, you can see the cold front is going to swipe through you on Saturday, kind of around the the early morning hours, and which they're probably usually at that early morning mark, there usually is a cap that's also in effect there, preventing some storms from firing. So yeah, you should be relatively all right here. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into some of these zip codes, my friends, because I'm sure you all have a lot of questions here. Let's go and take a look here. Haley wants me to look at 64060. This is right here across portions of Missouri. This is right here in Kansas City. So actually, Kansas City is in a marginal risk here for severe storms, a severe threat level 1 out of 5. Now, here's the thing. According to the Storm Prediction Center, like I said, you are at risk for severe storms here for tomorrow. Tornadoes is barely going to be a concern for you. Very, very low probability of you specifically having a tornado. I'd even see less than 2% for you specifically. In regard to damaging winds as well as hail, that's going to be your main concern. Look out for a few isolated hail events. You know, a few little small hailers here and there, as well as maybe some gusty winds, potentially getting up to around 60 miles an hour or so with some of these storms. So watch out for that. Not the biggest threat in the world. Nothing to absolutely freak out about. Absolutely not. No one should be panicking, but everyone should be preparing for this event for the worst case scenario. So for you specifically, that's kind of what we're talking about. And regarding to the timing of when this cold front is forecasted to kind of move its way through the region, it's kind of looking like around the evening hours here for tomorrow. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and zoom all the way down here towards the bottom of the chat, guys. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. So next up, we have ourselves Devin wanted me to look here at 75482. Got you covered here. We're going to take a look at this here really quickly. This is right here across Sulphur Springs. So here's the thing. Sulphur Springs, wow. Yeah, you're in a part that we got to really watch out for. You're actually in that enhanced risk. So you have the biggest risk here for tomorrow. 10% significant chance that there is a possibility we could see some nasty tornadoes surrounding the area. Now, like I said, the way this works is that every 25 miles, every single 25 miles, say you're in a center point, 25 miles around you, there is only a 10% chance a tornado could drop in there. But there's also a chance that tornado could be EF2 and higher. So, like I said, I know it sounds pretty scary. It's a high potential impact, but it's a low probability. Even at 10%, it's still a very low chance for you specifically to get hit. But is it something you should ignore? Absolutely not. You got to watch out for tomorrow because you are in the heart of tomorrow's risk area. So watch out for that there, Devin. Now, in regarding to the timing of this, like I said, right here towards Sulphur Springs, you know, honestly, it's kind of a looking around the evening event, which is going to be at nighttime, which is honestly going to make things a little bit more eerie. Like I said, right here towards Sulphur Springs, anywhere from around 7 to 9 o'clock. That's kind of when this cold front is projected to sweep through you. So that's something we definitely do got to keep an eye on here on as well. We'll be live here tomorrow. If anything specifically happens for you, we'll definitely let you know in regarding to that. Let's see here. We're going to take a look here. I'm trying to scroll down here to the bottom, guys. We're trying to get as many as you can. If I skip over yours, I'm not trying to, my friends. I'm just trying to get to all of you guys here. Richard wants me to look here at 79606. Got you covered here. We're going to go and take a look here at Benjamin, Texas. So here's the thing. So Benjamin is actually outside of the severe risk area. As you can actually see right in here, that line right there, that's the end of the marginal risk there, as you can actually see. And this is just your generalized thunderstorm. So you're actually not at risk for any severe storms as of yet. So you should be relatively okay. It's more for the eastern side of Texas that really got to watch out for it. Let's see. Alex and Ben wants me to look at 63119. Absolutely. I got you covered here, Alex. Let's go and take a look here across the way. We're going to see what is expected here for you specifically. This is for portions of Webster Groves, Missouri. So this is actually right here towards St. Louis. This is basically on the outskirts of St. Louis. Now here for tomorrow, there is actually not a risk for severe storms. Actually here for Saturday as well. You're actually looking fine. So as of now, Alex, you're actually not at risk for any severe weather. You're looking pretty good. It's more the western areas here in Missouri and the southwestern sides that's potentially at risk here for tomorrow. Let's see here. Next up, we have ourselves Broadway. Wanted me to look at 85035. Absolutely. Got you covered here. Let's go take a look. This is for Phoenix, Arizona, if I am correct. So for Phoenix, I can tell you this straight off the bat, there's not going to be any severe storms for you. Honestly, you're looking relatively all right, so not too worried about it, Broadway. Let's see here. So Nick wants me to look here at 76230. Absolutely. I got you covered here as well. This is across portions of apparently Mexico, so I don't think we can do this. Here's Bowie, actually. Never mind. Yeah, Bowie, this is probably where you're looking for. So Bowie, right here, you're in the slight risk for severe storms. You're in that level 2 out of 5. Now, what that means is basically, if we take a look here at the main risk area, you're right inside of this yellow area. Now, what this means is typically you have a 5% chance of seeing a tornado near your specific area. You know, obviously there's a 5% chance we could see a tornado across the way, so it's something we got to keep an eye on. It's pretty low threat for the most part, but still it's something you got to keep an eye on for sure. And regarding to damaging winds here, we are seeing, 15% risk there. Hail also kind of around 5% risk. So your main concern is actually just damaging winds with an isolated tornado being possible nearby. keep an eye on that for that. So watching out for this. Let's go and see. Mario, thank you so much for the super chat. We'll get to you here in 1 second. Once again, thank you so much for supporting us. Greatly appreciate it. What either people want me to look here at take a look here at 76502. Absolutely. So this is across portions of Temple, Texas. So for you, my friend, we're going to take a look here across portions of, take a look here back in my way. So for Temple, Texas, you, my friend, are actually in the enhanced risk. You're in the large threat here for tomorrow. And with that being said, you are at risk for tornadoes, 10% risk. 10% chance for significant tornadoes for you specifically. Like I said, once again, the way I explain this is it's a 10% chance of a tornado EF2 or higher happening inside of a 25-mile box. 10% chance, which that sounds like a lot, which, I mean, it's honestly more than what it should be, but obviously, like I said, the chances of you specifically still getting hit is pretty daggone low, but it's something you got to really watch out for. It's definitely the best to prepare for the worst. That is for sure. You got to prepare for the worst here. Absolutely. Anyways, but that's kind of what's kicking. That is indeed what we are seeing here. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the next one. So next up, we have you, Mario. Once again, thank you so much for the super chat. Goes to all of you guys. Thank you so much for supporting our channel here. So next up, we have ourselves Garland, Texas. So Garland's actually right here towards Dallas. And I tell you what, there's actually an enhanced risk here for Garland and also Fort Worth and Dallas area. Now, in regarding to the timing of the storms, I know I didn't really get to that for a lot of you other guys. Mostly the same timing for a lot of you, though. We're talking anywhere from around 6 to 8 o'clock is kind of when we are going to be seeing, the storms move its way towards the region here. So I'd say anywhere from actually 5 to 8 would honestly be more of a better ballpark zone. So anywhere from 5 to 8, keep your eyes out because that's when the cold front's going to be moving through. That's when the severe weather is going to happen. And once this line, guys, if you get hit by this cold front, once this cold front moves through, that's when the severe chances quickly diminish. They quickly go down after that cold front has moved through. So that's definitely some good news in regarding to that. So Mario, thank you so much for your kind support. Once again, big shout out goes to you. Thank you so much. Broadway as well as Wise Tree as well. Proxy, you guys, thank you all so much for your very kind support. You guys are indeed the best. Thank you so much for your guys' support. So like I said, if there's any other areas, guys, we can get to for you, please let us know. We're going to be here for you. Let's see here. Next up, we have ourselves, how is North Dallas-Fort Worth looking? Little Elm, Frisco area, says Rachel. So we just looked at here towards the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Like I said, between 5 and, honestly, for Fort Worth, it's probably more like 4 to 6, honestly, for you specifically getting hit there. But it's something we got to watch out for. I mean, yeah, you are indeed in that risk there you are in that enhanced risk. So definitely is something that we're going to keep an eye here for the most part. Devin, yeah, same thing for Dallas, kind of the same thing for the most part. You're in that enhanced risk, that 10% tornado risk there, 30% damaging wind risk there, and a 15% hail risk. So definitely something we got to keep an eye here for. Let's see. So that's for you, Rachel. Let's go and see here. Can I tell you what's going on here in St. George? So there's actually no severe weather happening in St. George. I can tell you that right now. You actually do have a small little thunderstorm risk here just east of St. George. We can actually look at really quickly, but that's about it. Nothing too crazy is happening for you. Let's see here. Anything for northeastern Ohio in the next 2 to 3 days? So this cold front eventually will be impacting portions of the Ohio Valley specifically. If we take a look here at the models in the future cast, far down in time, this cold front will eventually reach you kind of for Saturday around the evening hours, kind of what it looks like. Could drive maybe an isolated storm or two, but anything severe as of now is not expected at all. So you're looking all right there, Proxy. Let's see here. Brian wants me to look at 43725. Absolutely. Got you covered here. It's going to take a look here across the way. We're going to see what is going on here. So for you specifically, my friend, this is in Cambridge, Ohio. So actually, like I said, right here for kind of Saturday, Sunday commute, we're kind of talking basically, like I said, we're kind of talking basically that cold front moving through, which might deliver a few storms, but anything severe is, as of now, not expected. So you're looking pretty good there, Brian. So watch out for Saturday and the Sunday. If it's gonna be at any time, it's gonna be at nighttime during the evening hours of Saturday into Sunday there. So that's what's going on there. Let's go and see here. Next up, we have Lufkin, Texas. Going to take a look here at Lufkin, Texas. Absolutely, we got you covered here as well. Let's go and take a look here across the way. We're going to see what's going on down here. So this is for portions, once again, in Lufkin, Texas. You, my friend, are actually in the enhanced risk. You're also in that big severe risk here for tomorrow. So we got to watch out for that for you. So in regarding to timing, when this cold front's going to be moving through, when the severe storms are going to be happening, is kind of forecasted to kind of be anywhere from around 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern time, by the way. So this would be basically 9 p.m. to midnight. 9 p.m. to midnight. So that's kind of what we are indeed talking about here. So we're going to watch out for it. We're definitely going to keep on paying attention to this, guys. And like I said, we're going to be live here tomorrow for you. We definitely do got you covered here when it comes to this event here. Let's go ahead and see here. Ford is asking about Denison, Texas. Okay, let's take a look here at Denison, Texas and see what's going on down here. So Denison, Texas is indeed in the enhanced risk. That is a, like I said, you are in that enhanced risk here just north of Dallas, so we got to watch out for this here. We're definitely going to keep an eye on it. We're definitely watching this here very, very closely. Once again, you're at the biggest risk here for tomorrow, so you're going to need to keep your eyes on it. It would be best if you did prepare for this event now. If you guys are anywhere in the severe risk area, especially the slight risk and the enhanced risk, like I said, the enhanced risk is the bullseye tomorrow. Please be ready to go if anything does happen. If there's a tornado warning issued for you at worst case scenario, please, like I said, please be prepared for this. Have your, like I said, I would recommend having a no weather radio too to get your alerts if they come in for your specific area. So that's what we're talking about. So have a no weather radio if you can. Have a first aid kit. Have your shoes. Have your paperwork that you need. Birth certificates, Social Security, all kinds of stuff like that. You're going to need to have that in case of a nasty storm makes its way towards you. Not saying that you specifically are going to for sure get hit by it. It's a pretty low chance for someone specifically here in the chat to get hit by this system with tornadoes anyways. It's a pretty low chance overall, but I tell you what, it's something to definitely prepare for. Something to way better be over-prepared than under-prepared, okay? You're definitely going to want to be over-prepared for this here. Anyways, but you just want to prepare for the worst. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and see here. So we want to take a look here at College Station, Texas. Going to see what's going on across the region here. So like I said, slight risk and the enhanced risk. Definitely going to watch out for it. Yep, College Station right there inside of the enhanced risk here. Talking kind of around the evening hours. It's going to be around sunset whenever this storm is going to be moving through the region here. That's kind of according to the NAM model. Like I said, I'd like to get a range here in regarding to timing. So for you specifically, I'd say between 8 and 10 o'clock Eastern, which will be between 7 and 9 o'clock your time. So watch out for that, my friend, and obviously stay safe out there. Let's go ahead and see here. So we already did you Fork. We just did Denison, Texas. Yep, we just got you covered there. Let's go ahead and see here. So let's go see Zachary, Louisiana. Absolutely. Go ahead and take a look at that region here right now. This is right here across portions of Louisiana. So you, my friend, actually right here is actually inside the generalized thunderstorm risk here. There's no actual severe thunderstorm risk for you. So overall, you're looking pretty okay as of now with any of that going on there. Let's see here. Switching on down here, Brandon wants me to look at 76552 here for tomorrow. So we're going to take a look here across portions of the region. This is for Copperas Grove. This is right here just outside of the enhanced risk. This is a slight risk, but like I said, you should still definitely prepare for this. It would be recommended to know where you're going to go in case of a tornado warning or something along those standards will be issued for you. Like I said, if that happens, you're going to definitely want to be prepared for it. And it's kind of looking like you're going to be one of the early birds to get hit by this. I'd say between 3 o'clock and 6. I'd say between 3 and 6 o'clock Eastern, which will be between 2 and 5 o'clock Central. So definitely watch out for that, my friend, or your time, Central. Anyways, let's go ahead and see here. Next up, Devin wants us to look up here at Longview, Texas. I feel like we just looked at Longview, Texas. I could be wrong. Let's see here. That's not it right there. Longview, Texas. Okay, so Longview is all the way up here. Yep, in the enhanced risk. That's definitely, you're kind of right there in the middle of the bullseye zone here. You're actually smack dab in the middle of that enhanced risk. So, yep, you're going to definitely want to prepare for this here for tomorrow. And regarding to timing of your storms, kind of looking like it's going to be more of an evening event here for you. Once it passes Dallas, it's going to be kind of starting to turn nighttime once it passes Dallas from what it looks like. Kind of looking like we're going to be seeing anywhere from 9 p.m. or 8 your time to around midnight or 11 o'clock your time. So definitely something we do got to keep an eye out here for. Let's see here. Next up, we have ourselves... let's see. Next up, we have ourselves... Proxy wanted me to look at New Orleans. So yeah, New Orleans is actually not at risk for any... New Orleans is barely even in the risk for any thunderstorms at all. So New Orleans is okay as of now there, Proxy. So you're looking pretty all right. Let's see here. Next up, we have ourselves... thank you so much for the update. Very, very welcome. What about Austin, Texas? I have family who lives there. So for Austin, Texas, specifically, like I said, for Austin, Texas, you guys are at that enhanced risk. You do have the biggest threat here for tomorrow. Definitely got to watch out for it. You're probably going to be one of the early birds in regarding to getting the storm here for the most part. If we take a look here, once this cold front moves through, it's kind of showing us to be somewhere around 6 o'clock p.m. I'd say anywhere from like 5 your time or 4 your time to around 8 your time, or 8 our time, which would be 7 your time. So anywhere from Yeah, let's go ahead and show you this real quickly. So according to this model here, it's kind of showing that cold front kind of sweep through. You should go ahead and pause that there so it's not trying to pull away from me. Anywhere from 4-year time, I'd say, to even 6-year time. So 4 to 6 kind of shows whenever this is going to show up there. That's indeed what we're looking at. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to zoom down and get to the latest portion of the chat, so if I accidentally skip over you, I'm not trying to do that on purpose. So let's see here. So Zach wants me to look, is Dallas going to have any tornadoes? So Dallas is at risk for tornadoes, but the chances, it's unknown if Dallas will specifically get a tornado. That's why it's better to be prepared than underprepared, and that's why if you're in Dallas, you should definitely plan accordingly. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and see here. So that's for you there, Zach. Let's see here. Model's still not consistent. Yeah, especially between the HRRR and the NAM model. HRRR shows a lot of discrete supercells firing off ahead of the cold front in the warm sector there, just before the cold front sweeps through. And also the HRRR shows 2 rounds of severe storms happening, which is really nuts. But we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on it here. Let's see here. Next up, we have ourselves... let's see here. You says, thank you very much. You're very welcome. Next up, we have ourselves 56001. Absolutely got you covered here. We're going to go ahead and take a look across portions of here. This is for portions of Minnesota. Actually, so I can tell you this. Minnesota, you're out of the risk here for any severe storms in general, or any storms in general. So, not really much to look there. You're looking pretty good there. Let's see. What about Madison, Wisconsin? Same thing for Wisconsin. Wisconsin's barely at risk for even generalized thunderstorms, so not really a big concern for you regarding to anything severe. Faith wants me to look at 76244 across portions of Fort Worth. So Fort Worth, yep, definitely got to be watching out for this. We determined here, according to the NAM model, which, like I said, you can't just trust one model specifically. I'd say anywhere between 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock between when you're getting your storms there across the way. Let's see. Julie says, woo, thanks, Andrew. You're very, very welcome. Let's go and see here. Can I do born in all caps, says Tanner? Yeah, we can look at born here really quickly. No need to throw some caps in there, by the way, guys. Just keep it nice and calm. So born here, we have a slight risk, so definitely got to watch out for this. Stormage, probably going to be a little bit early. It's still going to be daytime for you whenever the storms do kind of move its way through. Kind of talking late afternoon, early evening by the time the cold front does sweep its way through the region here, so definitely watching out for it. But yeah, so you should have a plan in case, say, worst case scenario does happen. If you're in the slight risk, especially if you're in the slight risk and the enhanced risk, it'll really keep that plan ready. For a marginal risk here, it's still a severe weather threat, and I'd still recommend to know where to go in case if something happens here. Anyways, but that's what we're looking at there. Let's see here. But that is what we are seeing here. Will South Carolina be getting any bad weather this week? As of now, there's no risk for South Carolina or anywhere across the southeast. We're looking pretty good. Okay, that was a lot of talking. All right, so guys, so that's what we're looking at. Like I said, if you have any more questions, if there's anything else I can do for you, please let us know, my friends. We're going to be here for you. Like I said, thank you all so much to our kind donators today. You guys absolutely rock, and just thank you all for being here. Like I said, I don't ask for much on the channel, but if you have not already, consider hitting that subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. We're on the road to 8,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much for your kind support. Tell your friends and family about the severe weather event to hopefully keep them protected and safe. And if you want to, send them the link to the channel. Obviously that week, because like I said, we're going to be live tomorrow during this event. And if something happens near you, we're going to be here to cover it for you. So if there's anything that we can do for you guys, let us know. Like I said, share this with your friends and fam, guys. Be greatly appreciated. Thank you all for your kind support once again. Thank you all for just hanging out with us today. Definitely cool to have you guys here. But anyways, that's kind of what we're talking about here. So, let's see. I'm very surprised that SPC kept Indiana out of the marginal risk. NAM has low TOR parameters. Hey, like I said, that's not even final yet, though. Like I said, this is still day 2. You know, this could still definitely change here. Let's see here. GTA says, hello. Wow, that's a bad line of storms. Absolutely. It definitely looks a little bit interesting here. April says, I hope everyone heeds Andrew's warning for preparedness in the path of severe weather forecast for tomorrow and keeps all safe. Absolutely. Like I said, guys, seriously, we're here to help protect you. You know, we're here to make sure you guys get the word out there. Please share this with your friends and family. Not for the channel's sake, but I'm just saying, to keep you guys safe, keep you guys prepared, please be preparing for this. And like I said, once again, here for tomorrow's risk of storms. Like I said, tomorrow's going to be a pretty interesting day here, okay? And like I said, basically, if you're anywhere across the dark green, especially the yellow and especially the orange, that is a risk for severe storms tomorrow. And if you're anywhere across these locations, you should be prepared for the worst. And like I said, you should prepare for a tornado. Like I said, if there's not saying you're going to get hit by a tornado, but I will tell you tomorrow there's a pretty nasty tornado potential. like I said, potentially tornadoes EF2 to EF5. And like I said, there is that big significant risk. The biggest threat as of now is a 10% chance of having these tornadoes. And we'll see what happens here, okay? We'll definitely keep an eye on it. Let's go and see. We appreciate all that you do for us, Andrew. Hey, Proxy, it's no big problem. Like I said, it's what I'm here for. I want you all to be prepared. I want you guys to stay safe. That's the reason we're here, is to keep you all informed and ready to go when the storms hit. Let's see. I hope. Okay, we just looked at that here. Please stay safe from Australia, says Morna. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here, Morna. Even though you're across the world, definitely cool to have you around here. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's see here. Can we look at models for Saturday over Indiana? So we just looked at models specifically for those areas nearby, but we can pull up them really quickly. Like I said, right now there is no risk for any. Like I said, right now there is no risk for any severe storms across Indiana as of the latest Storm Prediction Center outlook. But just because that's what's saying it, we'll see what happens. So here for Saturday, we track our way down in Saturday whenever this does move its way towards Indiana. So we are going to see those dew points here into the upper 50s. I mean, that can be supportive for severe storms, but typically, like I said, you want to see it in the 60s and 70s. But, you know, upper 50s will work. So in regarding to lower level moisture that's there, our wind shear, there's a lot of strong northerlies. I have to admit, there is some strong northerly action. Very, very strong winds from the surface or near the surface pushing north. And across the mid-levels, they do amplify and head up to the northeast. So there still is a pretty powerful shortwave trough at this point. At this point, it'll be shortwave. So, yeah, absolutely. Definitely, the wind shear is there. The moisture is there. But what I'm concerned about is the instability, which I don't think there's going to be much of. And you can see, yep, there's not enough energy in the atmosphere to really produce anything severe, any thunderstorms really in general. So you can actually see that. There's really not supposed to be too much. Like I said, that cold front's really going to get sheared off once it moves into eastern Montana. That's kind of what we're talking about. You know, the instability gets sheared off once you move into eastern Montana. Or, not Montana, Missouri. I keep on saying Montana for Missouri and vice versa. Missouri, eastern Missouri. I almost did it again. Eastern Missouri there. So, not enough energy. There's a little bit of moisture, which could be supportive. The winds are there, but if there's just no energy. There's just no thunderstorm fuel for it. But that's what's kicking off there. Let's see here. Can I please check the Houston area? So, like I said, yeah, we're going to look here really quickly. So, for Houston, Houston is actually under the site risk, in which Houston, like I said, Houston's got to watch out for this too. You're going to be getting hit later on tomorrow evening, like tomorrow evening into tomorrow morning and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. But anyways, that's what we're talking about. Let's see here. God bless you, and tons of thanks. No problem. It's what I'm here for, guys. Like I said, it's my pleasure to be here for y'all. It's my pleasure to be here and continue to give you guys the support. Like I said, tomorrow's a big day. We're just preparing you guys ahead of time. We're making sure that you guys are ready to go tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be pretty nasty. Just to think that your average folk probably across the region doesn't really have an idea what's going to be happening tomorrow. And from a perspective like me, it's a little bit concerning. It really is a little bit concerning here. So definitely got to watch out for it, okay? We're going to keep an eye on it. Let's go and see here. I got a question coming in here from, let's go see, Goat saying, what about San Angelo? So San Angelo is not at risk for any severe storms. You can see there, San Angelo has the generalized thunderstorm. A few thunderstorms are possible, but anything severe is just simply not expected. Yep, simply not expected. Just the severe storms is east of you. Like I said, really eastern and northeastern Texas is at the biggest concern. Southwestern Arkansas, northwestern Louisiana, and southeastern Oklahoma has the biggest concerns here. Let's see here. Nick says, just share the channel with family and friends. Thank you so much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Haley says, when are we going to get hit by these storms in Kansas City? So, cold front kind of shows moving through here, kind of around, let's see here, for Friday. Let's see here. Actually, hold on. Let's double check on that. Yeah, kind of around the evening hours here for you tomorrow. So, definitely kind of what we're looking at. Let's see. Thanks. We'll pass that along to my family. You're very, very welcome. Alrighty, my friends. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up here for the quick little update for y'all. We've been laughing for an hour. So I just want to give you guys one final word. Just please prepare for tomorrow's event here. Like I said, I'm not trying to spread any fear. I'm just trying to alert you guys, just to give y'all a nudge and heads up to say, hey, there's some nasty weather happening tomorrow. Forecasted to happen tomorrow, in which we got to prepare. Now is the time to prepare. Once again, like I said, we got to keep an eye on it. If you are across the risk area like we talked about, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys here one more time the Storm Prediction Center really quickly. If you guys are across the dark green, that's the level 1 out of 5, especially if you're across the yellow and especially the orange. That's the bullseye tomorrow. You got to you got to really be prepared for this, okay? We got to really keep an eye on this. And like I said, if you're across these regions, you should definitely have a plan in case of a tornado warning or something along those standards is issued for you, or even severe storms with damaging wind capabilities. That's definitely going to be a concern tomorrow too. Not just tornadoes, but also severe storms capable of producing straight-line wind damage. Near tornado wind speeds are going to be possible too. So that's something we also got to prepare for. So if you're under a severe thunderstorm warning with some nasty criteria on it, either being hail or damaging winds, or if it's a tornado warning, I want you to know where to go. I want you guys to know where to go in case of this, in case there's a warning issued for you. Like I said, once a warning is issued, that's when you need to take action. Tornado watch or severe thunderstorm watch that will likely get issued tomorrow. That's telling you to be that's giving you a heads up that severe storms are going to likely happen here relatively soon. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. That's kind of what we are seeing. So once again, I want you guys to do this. I'm going to say this one more time for today before we head off here. If you guys are at risk, once again, across the dark green, the yellow, and especially the orange area, you got to be prepared for tomorrow. Know where to go in case of a tornado warning or severe thunderstorm warning is issued for you. Like I said, the best place to go is obviously a basement or a storm cellar. If you don't have any of those available, go to the central interior room of your home. Be prepared for it. Put as many walls between yourself and the outside as possible. Inside your safe spot, I want you to bring a few items. I want you to bring your shoes. I want you to bring a helmet. Get a helmet today. I want you to be prepared tonight before the storms hit. So have a helmet ready. Have a no-weather radio if you have one to get active warnings. Have a first aid kit. Have your shoes, and all your important documents and stuff like that. That's what you want to do to be prepared. Keep that in your safe spot. That way, if a tornado warning is issued, you can immediately go to your safe spot. That's what you want to do. That is indeed what we're talking about. All right, my friends, like I said, if you're in a trailer home too, get out. Get out of the trailer home. You do not want to be inside of a trailer in case there's a tornado warning or anything along those standards. You're definitely going to want to get out of those trailers. And like mobile homes trailers, do not stay in. Even if it's the last thing you do not stay in that trailer. And like I said, basically what you got to do at that point is find a sturdier building. If there's no buildings nearby, find yourself a ditch and cover your head. And, even if there's no ditch nearby, say there's worst case scenario, you're in a trailer, there is there is literally no ditches around here, there's no buildings. What you want to do is get in your car at that point and drive off if you can. Like I said, that's definitely crazy. It's going to see take your medicine and pets food as well. Absolutely. Yep, 100%. It's good to be prepared. Like I said, it definitely is good to be prepared tonight. And stuff like that here. Nathan says they sell no-weather radios at Walmart for a generally cheap price. Yeah, they're around $20-$30. I have a few of them. I don't know where I put them. But, yeah, you can get them typically. There's a model that I go by. It's the WR120. That's what it's called. And I'll go ahead and show you guys really quickly what the WR120 is. So WR120 looks like this guy. And you can see you can pick them off even off of Amazon, too, for about $30. Now, I'm no sponsor of them, obviously. But I just want to give you a heads up just to get yourself one. I mean, they can program it to your specific county, and they'll let you know if there's a tornado watch. They'll let you know if there's an advisory or a warning being issued for your specific area. Like I said, at Walmart, you can see here $30 for one of these guys, and it could potentially save your life. Okay, I have a few of these. I do have a few of these WR120s, and I'd highly recommend getting some of these. And honestly, another good model will be ER210. You know, honestly, ER210s, they are more portable. I'd also go off of this. They're a little bit more expensive. They're a little bit more in the higher, price standards here. They're kind of around $50, but they have some more information. They have AM, FM radio. They have weather radio. They have a flashlight, solar power. They have crank, so you can charge it up. They have USB, so you can charge your phones. Yada, yada, yada. A bunch of cool stuff. So if you want to go above and beyond while buying one of these radios, I'd highly recommend an ER210 for if you have a higher price range. And like I said, if not, then just go with the typical $30 WR120. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. That's indeed what we're talking about, my friends. So that's just to be prepared, just so you have one of these. That way, you can actually, be prepared. I actually have some of these too. I actually have two ER210s. I have like 4 WR120s. I used to be a radio fanatic back in my day. So yeah, that's just kind of a thing. But that's kind of when I started with weather. I was kind of a little bit of an enthusiast at some point. But anyways, at this point, I kind of got over most of it. But just to give you guys a heads up, just to get you all prepared. Once again, not a sponsor of them or anything like that. But just want to say, definitely prepare for it. I mean, I'm just trying to get you guys an idea of what you can do before that. Let's see here. Has woken up dead asleep sometimes. Yeah, me too. It has done that for me as well. 100%. Yeah, they'll definitely alert you. They'll definitely keep you, alerted, and they could potentially save your life. I mean, absolutely. They could definitely save your life here. Let's see here. Crystal with the super chat. Thank you so much, Crystal. Big shout out goes to you. And once again, this is a quick little just a list here really quickly. Just I want to say a big thank you to my friends here. Crystal, thank you so much for the super chat. Mario, thank you for the super chat. Broadway, Wise Tree, thank you so much for the super chat as well. Proxy, you as well. Thank you guys so much for your kind support. You guys absolutely rock. There you go. Once again, Proxy. All of you guys, Proxy, Wise Tree, Broadway, Mario, and now Crystal, thank you so much, guys, for your kind support. Hey, it keeps us going, y'all. Like I said, it pays the bills, it does, and it keeps us going, pays for our radar programs and everything like that, so thank you just for your kind support, you guys. Like I said, you don't have to do that. Just know that you don't have to. I don't ask for much on this channel, but just if you find this channel useful, if you found it informative, consider hitting that subscribe button, guys. Consider leaving a like on it as well. It really helps out the algorithm. It helps out our channel, helps out everything. So once again, thank you guys for just hanging out with us for today. All right, my friends, thank you so much. That's going to wrap it up here for the night. We've been live here for over an hour. I feel like we got a good word out there. Remember to let your family and friends know about tomorrow. Once again, for the severe weather risk, we have a pretty big risk here for tomorrow. And like I said, the biggest risk here, I'm going to go ahead and name off the states that's going to be affected tomorrow. So if you know anyone, if you know any friends or family across these states, let them know. So here we go. Tomorrow's risk, we actually have a slight risk today, but I'm not really kind of worried about this slight risk. I think it's too capped out to do anything, which is the reason we're not doing any coverage here. But anyways, here we go. If you're across these states, Louisiana, western Mississippi, portions of Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and especially Texas on the eastern side, be ready. Okay? That's what we're talking about. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for being here. You guys absolutely rock. Let's see, your wife says thanks for the donation. Yeah, absolutely. You guys rock. Seriously, thank you so much. Shrimp says, is it going to be bad? According to models, it looks like it's going to be pretty nasty, but like I said, it's definitely better to prepare for the worst than not prepare at all. You know what I'm saying? Definitely is better to over-prepare than under-prepare. Will I go live around 3 p.m. Central? Probably be live around 4 or 5 p.m. Central. That's the plan. We'll just see whenever storms fire off, we'll hit that live button for you. Absolutely. Alrighty, guys. Well, Julie says good night. Andrew, sleep well. You as well, Julie. Thank you so much. Or July, I think you said it was Julie, right? Pretty sure. I'm just going to call you Julie. Well, obviously, you're very, very welcome, and I hope you have a wonderful night as well. Let's go see. Nick says thank you. You are very, very welcome. Nathan says stay alert, not anxious. Like I said, the point of this is not to get you guys all worked up and freaked out. I'm just trying to let you know what's in store for tomorrow, because it's better that you know what the potentials are versus not knowing when it happens and it's right there at your doorstep. That's not what you want. We want to keep you guys informed as much as possible. Let's go ahead and see here. Megan says, thank you, Andrew. You're the best. No, you, Megan. Thank you so much. Let's see here. April says, very nasty. Yeah, definitely does look pretty nasty tomorrow. Everything's in place. Moisture, instability. Like I said, instability, moisture, wind shear there as well. We also have the lift, which everything is in place. All the ingredients for the cake we're baking tomorrow is in place, guys. Alrighty, that's going to wrap it up for the night, my friends. We're pushing an hour and 10 minutes, so thank you all for joining us. If you have not already, crush that subscribe button, hit that like button as well, guys. Thank you all so much for your kind support. You guys absolutely rock, and I'll catch you guys here for tomorrow. Alright, my friends, thank you all so much for joining us. Tell your friends and family to definitely be prepared for this and everything along those standards. Let's go ahead and see here. Sean put the praying thing. Yeah, absolutely. Prayers goes out to you guys. Hope you all do. Hope you all stay safe tomorrow and everything like that. Wyatt Street says, thanks, Andrew. You are very welcome. And once again, thank you for supporting the channel as well. There, Wyatt Street. Big shout out goes to you. Let's go ahead and see. But all right, guys, thank you so much. Let's see. Wyatt says, thanks, Andrew. Have a nice day. You as well, Wyatt. Thank you for joining us, my friends. And all right, y'all, I'll catch you guys here tomorrow. Peace out, you guys.
Lower 70s in the afternoon. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour, increasing to 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour in the afternoon. Chance of rain near 100%. Friday night, partly cloudy with a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening, then mostly clear after midnight. Some thunderstorms may be severe. Much cooler. Less humid with lows in the upper 40s. West winds 10 to 15 miles an hour, becoming northwest 5 to 10 miles an hour after midnight. Saturday, sunny, cooler with highs in the upper 60s. West winds around 5 miles an hour, becoming south in the afternoon. And now the extended forecast. Saturday night, clear. Lows in the lower 50s. South winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Sunday, sunny. Highs in the mid-70s. Sunday night, mostly clear in the evening, then mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of showers after midnight. Not as cool with lows in the lower 60s. Monday, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers in the morning, then mostly sunny with a slight chance of showers in the afternoon. Highs around 80. Chance of rain 40%. Monday night, partly cloudy. Lows in the mid-60s. Tuesday, mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 70s. Tuesday night, partly cloudy. Lows in the lower 60s. Wednesday, mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 70s. Wednesday night, mostly clear. Lows around 60. Thursday, sunny. Highs in the mid-70s. The hazardous weather outlook through tonight for North Texas. No hazardous weather is expected at this time. Spotter activation is possible Friday afternoon and evening. And now the hazardous weather outlook for Friday through Wednesday. Scattered to widespread thunderstorms are expected across much of the region Friday afternoon and evening. The best storm chances and greatest severe chances will be along and east of the Interstate 35 corridor. Some storms may become severe, with large hail, damaging winds, and a few tornadoes. Heavy rain may also occur at times and could cause localized flooding issues. There is a slight chance of storms on Monday, but severe weather appears unlikely at this time. The ultraviolet index forecast for November 4th is 1, or low. The current time is 6:11 p.m. Central Daylight Time. You are listening to NOAA, All Hazards Radio, the voice of the National Weather Service, station KEC 56. Serving the Dallas-Fort Worth listening area. The following reports of weather temperature and wind were made at 6 p.m. DFW Airport, mostly cloudy, 80, dew point 66, relative humidity 62%, wind south at 16, pressure 29.89 inches and falling. Dallas Love Field, mostly cloudy, 79, south at 13, gusting to 25. Fort Worth Meacham, partly cloudy, 78, south at 24, gusting to 32. Arlington, mostly cloudy, 80, south at 12, gusting to 21. McKinney, clear, 76, south at 13. Denton, partly cloudy, 78, south at 23, gusting to 31. Elsewhere around the region, Wichita Falls, mostly cloudy, 79, south at 22. Abilene, clear, 79, south at 20, gusting to 32. Waco, mostly cloudy, 81, south at 17, gusting to 26. Tyler, mostly cloudy, 80, southeast at 13. Once again at 6 p.m., DFW Airport, mostly cloudy, 80, south at 16. Now let's check on your local forecast for the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Tonight, partly cloudy this evening, then mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. Lows in the upper 60s. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Friday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the morning, then showers with thunderstorms likely in the afternoon. Some thunderstorms may be severe in the afternoon. Highs in the upper 70s. Temperatures falling into the lower 70s in the afternoon. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour, increasing to 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour in the afternoon. Chance of rain near 100%. Friday night, partly